everyone, and welcome. So today we're tackling something loud. I mean, really loud. It's a problem that probably echoes through your home and millions of others every single day. But the solution? It's brilliantly simple.
All right, so let's get right into it. First things first, we need to identify the villain of this story. You know the sound I'm talking about. It's the one that just cuts through everything. Conversations, your favorite show, your focus, it just shatters the piece. Seriously, just take a second and think. What is that one appliance in your kitchen that makes you want to just cover your ears? You know, the one that screams its presence with this high-pitched roar you just can't escape? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep, you guessed it. The Mixie. The mixer grinder. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a powerhouse, a total staple in the kitchen. But that sound, that grinding, whirring, shrieking noise is, without a doubt, the undisputed champion of kitchen noise. Sure, you could say it's the sound of getting things done, but let's be real, it's also the sound of an instant headache.
And look, this is way more than just a little annoyance. It's basically a form of sound pollution right inside our own homes. And think about who it really hits the hardest. You've got elders trying to get some rest, maybe patients who really need peace and quiet to recover, or what about students who are cramming for a big exam? For them, that noise wasn't just annoying, it's a serious problem. And it's a problem that was just begging for a solution. And believe it or not, the solution came from an amazing and maybe surprising place, an 8th grader's school science project. Seriously, this is the story of how a young innovator just looked at this household menace and decided, yeah, I'm going to fix that.
So what makes this so cool? It's how incredibly simple it is. We are not talking about some complicated high-tech gadget with wires and plugs. Nope. This is just a box, a soundproof box with zero electronics. It works using nothing but a clever design and, some basic physics.
Okay, so the big question is, how in the world does a simple box quiet down such a loud machine? Well, let's get into the science of it, how it works, and you'll see just how simple the construction really is. It all boils down to one key idea: sound insulation. So here's how to think about it. Sound is basically energy, right? And it travels in waves. When those waves hit a hard, flat surface, like your kitchen wall, they just bounce right off, making everything seem louder. But what happens when they hit something soft and porous? Well, those materials act like a sponge. They just soak up the sound waves and stop them dead in their tracks. And this is the best part. The materials used are things you can find almost anywhere, and they're super cheap. We're talking about a simple cardboard or plywood box for the outside. Then, on the inside, you've got a layer of something like thermocol or sponge for that main insulation. And get this, for an extra sound barrier, you can use stuff like old egg cartons or a rubber mat. Every single layer has a job to do, all working together to trap that sound.
You can totally picture how this comes together, right? You start with the outer box, for the main structure, then you line it with that soft insulating layer to soak up most of the vibrations. And for the final touch, you add that sound barrier. The bumpy surface of egg cartons, for example, is actually perfect for breaking up and trapping any sound that's left. It's like building a little fortress of silence, and it only takes 3 simple layers.
All right, so we know how it's made, but what about the results? How well does this simple idea actually work in the real world? Well, the impact is pretty amazing, and it's about way more than just having a quieter kitchen.
First off, let's talk about the money. The estimated cost to build this thing is under 500 rupees. I mean, come on, that is so incredibly affordable. It makes the solution something that pretty much anyone, anywhere can try. It just goes to show you a great idea doesn't have to break the bank.
And the good news just keeps coming. Since there are no electronics, it's totally safe and super simple to build. And because you can use recycled materials, it's not just reusable, it's also great for the environment. So you've got safety, sustainability, and of course the big one, a major drop in that crazy loud kitchen noise.
This is what takes this project from just being a clever little trick to something much bigger. It's a real solution for sound pollution in our homes. It's a way to make our living spaces more peaceful, more considerate for everyone living there. A simple science project that actually has a real social impact. How cool is that?
And that really leaves us with something to think about, doesn't it? This whole idea just came from someone looking at a daily annoyance and thinking, how can I fix this with simple stuff I have around me? It makes you wonder, what's an everyday problem in your life that's just waiting for a simple, low-tech fix? What could you solve with a simple box?